This would be the third individual video for me as a group member of LAXGroup311. So on this week's individual video, there are two questions to be answered. The first question, how do you feel about this activity? And the second question, what can you contribute to this activity? So on the first question, how do I feel about this activity? Well, if the questions asked about in the sense of what do I feel about activity of my friend making comic strips, well, I feel like so far on our activity, everything's going very fine, perfectly fine. Each and every member has not much of problem in doing their task on time, so on. So the only problem is actually basically on looking for time and a suitable place for us to gather without getting disturbed and getting a full group discussion. So how do I feel? Well, I feel like all my group members are doing really fine. I feel like the activity is going perfectly fine. On how we actually on the group discussion on week 3, we did discuss about what kind of comic strips we're going to make for the second comic strips. So on that, my group member has all of us have discussed on what to do, and we've decided on making a comic strip based on tests as a student, since we are actually we are having a test week on that week, so we want to use that idea and making it as a comic strip and showing how a student would face their test, or how a certain kind of student would face their test. So that was our idea, that was our direction of what we want to do. So what I feel is that that idea is perfectly fine. I'm totally agree with it on how they want to decide it, and I feel like totally supportive towards it. So yeah, the activity it's fine. So on the second question, which is what can you contribute to this activity? So on this activity or this second comic strips, since in the sense of doing draft and journal or making the comic strips, no, I'm actually not doing those tasks, because the task that was given to me was to complete the very first comic strips on week 2, and I've done that. Yeah, so but on this task, I have I did contribute something for the second comic strips, in the sense of I'm giving them ideas on what to do and all, because I was the first one to do the comic strip, so I briefly have an idea on what to do, maybe using what website, what kind of software, or maybe want to do hand draw and everything. I did give them some give my group members some idea on what I faced during the first comic strips. In a sense of contribution, I did give them a brief idea on what to do, on what would face, and I did tell them that if you have any problem, do feel free to ask me, to confront me and ask about it. Yeah, so in a sense of contribution, yes, I did help on that. Another contribution, which is, well, that's actually the contribution as a group, since for the second comic strip, I can clearly see that the teamwork is really there, was really there during the discussion, because every single one of them were being so active in giving out ideas, in giving out comments on what we should do for the second week. And we have decided on my group member who was given the task to make the second comic strip had decided to hand draw it instead of using online, which is a very good idea. So in the sense of contribution, yeah, so far that's the only thing I could help out for this activity. So I do really hope that everyone would do their job fine and would complete it without much problems. And if there's any problem, I do hope that they will come and consult me, and I will help them any way I can.